Ladies and gentlemen, so the brand new patch is out today, as you may be aware, and we got two new characters. We got Aegon, we got the champion, and the champion releases tomorrow, and he's looking pretty good, man. The synergies that the champion has look absolutely insane. He's got some crazy ones for like Mephisto, Luke Cage, Sentry, so I'm really excited for the crystal opening tomorrow. However, the character that comes out in 2 weeks is the brand new creation of Kabam, Aegon, the first victor of the contest of champions, and this character looks absolutely phenomenal. I have really strong god tier vibes of the potential of this character, but he is one of those champions that is a very long ramp up champion. There is so much depth to this character's ramp, kind of up to 1,000 hits on the combo meter, and then some really crazy stuff starts happening. So Aegon, a way to think about this character kind of is like a bit of a hybrid. If you kind of mixed in like Proxima, Midnight, Corvus Glaive, and also Star-Lord, it's kind of the vibe that I get from him, but overall looks really awesome. So this character, there's quite a bit to cover in terms of what he can do. So I think we're going to start with kind of the very basic abilities of what he has, and then build on kind of how his combo meter ramps up additional stuff and kind of brings additional mechanics into play. So the first thing, and I think this is going to be so valuable to Aegon, is I think he's going to be a character that's alright unawakened, but I believe his real value is going to come in kind of the big long missions and challenges where you can make full use of this awakened ability. So essentially his awakened ability is called Relentless Assault, and at the end of a fight, Aegon is going to add up to 67%, and I believe this is in even max dupe level Aegon, so I think it's going to be around 70% of his final combo meter into persistent combo, up to a total of 999 hits. So Aegon's abilities that count the combo meter add his persistent combo on top of it, so essentially like a certain percentage of your combo. For probably the average awakened Aegon that doesn't have that many stones, it's probably going to be between 40-50% of the combo that you have at the end of the fight gets transferred on to all of the fights after that, and it can just keep on stacking up and up and up. So I think for that, Aegon is going to be a pretty ridiculous character when it comes to Labyrinth of Legends and kind of long form content like that, and a very popular option for anybody that can get him and get him awakened. But again, for a brand new champion, that is always quite the challenge to get there. But very interesting awakened ability. If Star-Lord had this, man, oh, it'd be so insane. But I really do like that awakened ability there. Now, in terms of Aegon, his base critical rating is 0, but however, for every single hit that you have on the combo meter, it increases by 33.5, so basically 20 hits, and then you're kind of around the average crit rate of the, the average character, and then anything on top of that, man, is a huge bonus. Is going to go to, you're going to hit that, I believe it's, I think there's like a soft cap on crit around like 60%, and I believe a hard cap something like 80%. So yeah, I feel like, in those really meaty, beefy fights, you are probably going to hit the hard cap of, I think it's 80%. I'm not entirely sure. It's been so long since I've looked into the crit rating caps. But if somebody a bit more smart could let me know if there's a cap on critical rating and also crit damage rating as well, because that's something I'm incredibly curious about. If any of the stats nerds do have that info, that would be heavily appreciated there. And any critical rating Aegon would receive from a source other than his combo meter, so I assume this is masteries as well, is converted directly into critical damage rating. Now, he also has another ability which increases his crit damage rating as well for every hit you have on the combo meter. So yeah, first off, man, that seems really good. It looks like once you really get into the fight, you're going to be critting like all of the time. So that's always very fun. Now, again, we're going to go back to kind of all the combo meter abilities once we've covered kind of the basics of Aegon here to build this champion up a little bit. So he is a mechanic. While charging his heavy attack, he activates Combo Shield and cannot lose more than 5% of his maximum health from a single source other than special attacks. So it doesn't look like this can be used to tank Special Freeze for 6 seconds, but it does cap the amount of damage you can take from a single hit. Now, I don't know exactly how this is going to be useful, but I have a little bit of a theory about some really sick, crazy Aegon play, which which we're going to explain out a little bit here. But also to elaborate on this one as well, once this ability expires, it goes into cooldown and cannot be reactivated for 15 seconds. And landing a heavy attack reduces the cooldown of this ability by 3 seconds as well. Now, it kind of ties into the next mechanic, 100% chance to get a Fury, increasing your attack by, this is 50% of Aegon's base attack for 6 seconds here, but also for every 50 hits you have on the combo meter, you gain 1 additional Fury buff, and Aegon can have up to 6 of these Fury buffs total. So when you're at 300 hits, you know, with the combo meter combined, that is an additional 300% attack, because this Aegon, like, roughly has about 4,000, well, just under 4,000, about 3,912 base attack, according to my calculations there. So yeah, when attacked, if you got 300 hits, you are going to gain 300% attack, which is huge, man. That is so crazy. But then if you think about the bleed on the special too, so 100% chance to inflict bleed over 6 seconds, dealing, and this is approximately 10% of Aegon's base attack as direct damage for each hit on the combo meter, up to 60 hits. So once you've got 60 hits, the special 2 is 600% bleed over 6 seconds. And then if we factor in deep wounds as well, that brings it up to 850% of Aegon's base attack as bleed damage over 8.5 seconds, which seems absolutely ridiculous. But then if you combine it as well with the 300% Fury, which you can get and not lose your combo from the combo shield, and also cap the damage you're going to take at 5% of your maximum health, this could be like a crazy play to get something like 2,000 and something % bleed damage off your special 2, make it hit ridiculously hard. So I'm not really too sure if that's going to be like the play, or if that's how it's intended to work. But yeah, that does seem like a pretty ridiculous potential combo there. So some really, really interesting stuff, man. I just want to play and test with this champion. And this is just on the base, man. There is so much more. The special attack 3 also has the longest stun in the entire game of special 3 as well. So 100% chance to stun the opponent for 1 second. The duration of the stun increases by 0.1 seconds for each hit on the combo meter. So 60, and then you've got the full duration one, up to 7 seconds total. So that is absolutely ridiculous in terms of the amount of time. I think in terms of the amount of hits you can get off, it's going to be something like 19, 20 hits on the combo. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. You should, I think, with that duration, be able to get like 3 full combos if you're pushing for it, and then kind of go over into another one. So yeah, for power reserve, man, that's going to make Aegon a champion that can infinitely stun as well, because Proxima can with her special 3. So yeah, some really, really good stuff there with Aegon's special 3 as well. We love a good long stun duration. Now, to talk about the combo meter abilities and how this champion ramps up. So he's going to unlock and upgrade additional passive abilities as his combo meter increases. So when he gets to 5 hits, critical hits have a 40% chance to shrug off 1 debuff. Again, this does actually go to 100% a little bit later. But again, void counter, pretty good there by the look of it, and also class advantage. 10 hits, critical damage rating is going to increase for each hit on the combo meter as well. So you're going to be critting more. Your crit damage is just going to go up and up and up. 20 hits when the opponent evades. Aegon activates a combo shield for 5 seconds and has a 45% chance to become unstoppable for 2 seconds. 30 hits. Aegon can strike critical hits even while the opponent is blocking. 50 hits, charging a heavy attack grants Aegon 1 second of unstoppable. So I think that means you can just kind of like throw your heavy attack in certain points in the combo and not have to worry about a penalty from it. So yeah, that seems pretty decent there. Or maybe there's some sort of strategy where you like throw the heavy attack, you gain the unstoppable, you take a hit, it's capped at 5% damage, but you get that 300% attack bonus, and then you retaliate with a special 2 for like 2000% bleed damage or something like that. I don't know, there's a lot of really interesting like potential theory with Aegon, which I very much looking to explore when this champion releases. So yeah, unstoppable on the heavy there, 75 hits. Opponents have a crazy amount of block proficiency reduction when Aegon strikes with a critical. And again, as that combo goes up and up and up, that crit is just going to be absolutely insane. So you can tear through opponents like MODOK, and you're pretty much going to be able to do all your damage when blocking. So yeah, that seems really, really good. Another MODOK counter in there as well. 100 hits grants the critical chance whenever you hit with a crit, you're going to shrug off debuff. So Void completely countered there. Easy game, easy life. We love the 100 hit one. And then we've got the 150 hits. So critical hits grant 0.75 seconds of true accuracy, allowing him to ignore auto block and all evade effects. This stacks up to 3 times. So yeah, when you crit, you're gonna gain true strike, and you're gonna be critting all the time. So you've pretty much ignored all the auto block and evade stuff there. Spider-Man counter as well. MODOK counter. You could probably get through Medusa with that as well. In all fairness, that probably should work quite well, because you can just keep on going for the first hit until get the true accuracy and then push over to the second. So potentially another boss killer as well when it comes to stuff like Alliance War. 200 hits, critical hits are going to ignore 100% of the opponent's physical resistance. 300 hits, critical hits are going to grant a fury buff, so another fury buff, but this one is a little bit weaker in comparison. It only increases attack by its 20% of Aegon's attack for 1 second, and it stacks up to 3 times. So I assume that most of the time you're going to have all 3 stacks of this up when you're playing the character over 300 hits. So that is an additional 60% of his base attack on top. So, it's a nice bonus for the character. But again, combined with that Fury Man, 360% Fury. Oh, it's going to ramp up that 850% bleed big time, and you are going to be seeing some crazy numbers, I would imagine. So I can't wait for all the Aegon Special 2 highlight videos. And then we have 500 hits. Critical hits cause opponents to suffer 100% reduced defensive ability accuracy for Aegon's next hit. So this one is a little bit difficult to plan out, but again, stops the opponent from doing stuff the majority of the time. So that seems really, really good as well. 750 hits. Critical hits grant 1.5 seconds of unstoppable and combo shield. This grants to stacks up to 3 times. So 750, you're pretty much always going to be unstoppable there. And at 1,000 hits, you are not always going to be unstoppable, but you're also going to be unblockable as well. So you can just absolutely mash, and everything's just going to get wrecked. So yeah, that seems absolutely insane. Like, Aegon's got such a really, really good ramp up by the look of it. And when it comes to, Marvel Contest of Champions, crit is so important, like getting critical hits. And you really see with Corvus at the moment how much, if you get like a few glaive charges, he's just absolutely wrecking stuff. And Aegon doesn't, have any certain like class or mission prerequisites. It's just get a lot of hits, don't get hit, put them all in the combo bank, and just keep on ramping up and up and up. So with this character, I am seeing some major god tier potential. I think there is so much to kind of play around with and experiment with in terms of what this character is going to be able to do. But so far, I'm getting really, really good vibes. I think the only potential weakness of this character, which is potentially worth noting, is that because of all the fury and buffs he's going to get, Mystic Champions, you do not want to queue into a Mystic character in any sort of PvP scenario, because they are going to eat those fury buffs up like crazy, man, with everything he's getting. Like Symbiote Supreme would absolutely tear this dude apart. So yeah, I feel like that's maybe the only downside to the character, is a lot of buffs when you're actually playing him. But aside from that, I am seeing a lot of potential for Act 6, Labyrinth of Legends, and maybe a bit of Alliance War as well. If you can get enough hits, kind of ramp up, you should be able to do some fairly interesting stuff. But you are going to need to have this character, and I assume if you want to bring him into anything outside of Labyrinth, for the majority of stuff, you probably do want to have him awakened as well. But overall, Aegon looks really cool, man. He looks really, really cool. Very exciting champion. The champion releases tomorrow, so we're doing a massive crystal opening for that and testing out him. And also, Aegon has a synergy with the champion. If we just have a look at the Otrix data mine document here, do we have the Aegon synergies? So yeah, these are the data mine synergies Synergies, and again, the champion ones have even slightly changed since the bio, so this might not be exactly what we see, but with the champion, Aegon gets additional attack rating. I think it's 20% when fighting larger champions, so that's something to keep in mind as well. Even more attack on top of that. Combo breakers, Aegon with Proxima Midnight and Star-Lord activates combo shield for a certain amount of seconds when this champion would lose their combo, but this ability activates only one time per fight, so a bit of a backup there. Maybe we're going to see some Aegon Proxima Corvus teams and Alliance War, who knows. Well, you probably need to, probably not those exact characters, just thinking about it, because, you know, you need to ramp up Corvus and ramp up Aegon, and it'd be difficult to ramp up both, I would assume. We also have one with apparently Aegon, Angela, Proxima Midnight as well, so hopefully this is a second one that does stick with Proxima, which gives a certain potency to Fury effects, so this could be really, really good for Angela, depending on the values there, but I'm interested to see if it's actually going to be with Proxima as well. And finally, the one with Sentry, well-timed blocks guarantee Aegon's next hit will be a critical. Doesn't really seem that worthwhile, considering the amount of crit rating you're going to have. And then Sentry gives him additional crit rate and critical damage for each reality warp. And also Sentry has an additional brand new synergy with the champion, which is going to give him even more attack. So yeah, maybe Sentry, I don't know, man, might come out of the next update a little bit good, providing he has some of the, you know, both of the synergies from Aegon and also the champion as well. So some very interesting stuff there, ladies and gentlemen, but let me know what you think of Aegon in the comment section below. What is this character going to be good for? What do you think are going to be some of his top counters? And where do you see this character being used? But aside from that, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.